Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Palumi. If you're new to my channel, which you probably are because this is my first video, you're probably wondering what this channel is going to be about. Well, let me tell you, this is going to be about all things mental health, all things psychology in pop culture, mental health in everyday life. You name it, we're going to be talking about it. So alright, let's get on with today's video. Today's video, I want to talk about Jack Wilshere and his recent interview where he spoke about his struggles with depression. Now, some people may not know Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere is was a Premier League footballer who played for Arsenal and then West Ham. More recently, he played for Bournemouth. But Jack unfortunately struggled with injuries during the majority of his playing career, and that was something that people were aware of, physical injury. And I think one of the things that people probably didn't realize was the mental side of what he was going through. And Jack Wilshere recently has spoken out about depression, about what he went through. Take a look at this.
Us as players have to be willing to speak up, speak about our feelings, and realise that it's not a weakness. It's actually really brave, and people will help you if you need help.
Speaking at an event in London, Jack once again opened up about how talking has made a big difference in his life.
So one of the key things that Jack said in his video was that players need to be willing to speak out, and that actually speaking out about mental health is not a weakness, but rather actually it should be seen as a strength. And you know what, I agree with this 100%. One of the things that I advocate for is that people need to talk more. You need to talk more about mental health. Men in particular, I know that a lot of men historically have seen talking about mental health as a weakness. They've seen talking about mental health as something that perhaps only women do. And that's very sad. It's very, very sad, because really there are lots of people who are suffering, who are struggling daily with their mental health. And because of these kind of these stigmas, these stereotypes, they're not talking about it. Talking about your mental health is one of the key things that you can do to have a healthy mental health. Being open, speak to the people around you. It's really important that you don't hold things in. And so it's a really great thing to hear somebody like Jack Wilshere talking so openly about what he's gone through, what he's currently going through.
The general perception of footballers is that they have everything. What have they got to moan about? They've got a great life. The depressive thoughts. Don't care if you're a footballer. I think it's important to speak out.
One of the things that Jack also spoke about was this idea that people assume that because you're a footballer, because maybe you are, you're somebody in a certain position, you shouldn't have mental health issues. You shouldn't, what do you have to worry about? You're earning thousands and thousands of pounds every week. Why should you be depressed? Why should you have anxiety? Do something else. But again, that's one of the false assumptions about mental health, is that if you're rich, if you have enough money, then you shouldn't have mental health issues. No, the reality is that mental health is something that everybody has. Mental health is something that everybody experiences, and at any point in time, regardless of your status, regardless of how rich you are, how poor you are, how famous you are, you can experience a mental health difficulty. You can experience depression, and it's really important that we're open about that and that we talk more about that. So, again, I'm really glad that somebody like Jack is talking about this and really being just open, about this issue. One of the things that can lead to depression in a lot of people is when we have certain expectations that we feel we ought to be meeting. Now, somebody like Jack, who was playing at the highest level, he was playing at Arsenal. I remember watching him in a game against Barcelona, and this guy was just dribbling, and he was bossing the game against Barca. Imagine being at that level and, no offense to Bournemouth, but kind of finding yourself playing lower league football. That can lead to depression. That can lead to you feeling, like, gosh, what have I done with my life? How did I get here? And so again, now that's of course no fault of Jack. He didn't. It wasn't his fault that he had the injuries that he had. It wasn't his fault that just things didn't quite pan out the way the way he expected them to. One of the things that can happen, and one of the things that I find working with people, is that when you don't meet certain expectations that you have of yourself, you can then end up in a cycle of unhelpful thoughts where you start to become overly critical of yourself. You start to, almost blame yourself. Maybe if you've done this wouldn't have happened to you. Maybe if you've done that, this wouldn't have happened to you. Now, of course, all of that it just leads to you feeling more and more depressed, more and more low, hating yourself. And if you don't talk to people, if you don't get help, you can end up in a situation where you're feeling very suicidal. So quite frankly, I think it's really important to just be open. The moment you start to notice some of these difficult thoughts, find somebody that you can confide in, find somebody that you can talk to. And again, going back to what Jack was saying, he was able to talk to his family. He was able to kind of surround himself with people, it seems, people that care and were able to give him support. And again, I find in my experience, in my work with people who go through similar things, that's really what helps as well. In addition to talking therapy, in addition to seeing a therapist, so surrounding yourself with people who care, people who are able to support you is key, is very, very important. That's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button to get more videos like this. Until next time, peace.